Awesome.
There it is.
At this time, I'll call the meeting of the Marshall City Council to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everyone here this evening. We do have an agenda before us. Are there any changes to that agenda? If not, we'll operate under that agenda. The first item would be consider the recognition of our fire chief, Quentin Brunsvold. Quentin, if you'd like to come forward. We have a number of members of the Marshall Fire Department that are here. And I'm also going to ask Deputy Chief Jay Olson to provide an explanation of a very important honor that Chief Brunsvold received. And Jay is well positioned to give a lot of details about this. As Jay is preparing his talk, I also want to once again recognize the members of the department that are here, and special recognition to our former chiefs that are here, Mark Clate as well as Chief Ed Shealy. We're very grateful that both of you are here. Jay, I'll turn it to you.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council here. Here just to give you a little history on what this award that Quentin received here a couple weeks ago. It's the Fire Officer of the Year for over population of 10,000. There's a lot of things that go into this. Obviously, being over 10,000 in population, there's a lot of big hitters that are in the ring. This year, when I was talking to the executive people that run the organization, they said this year they had the most that they've had in many years as far as nominations for this award, both for the population over and under. And if you're not aware, the recipient of the under 10,000 was the fire chief down in Tracy, Minnesota. So we have great representation of great leaders in Lyon County and outstate in Minnesota here. So like I said, a little history of the award here. The criteria of the award emphasizes leadership, innovation, professional development, integrity, service to the public, and contributions to the fire service as a whole. And if you know Quentin Brunsvold, that's everything right there. At the last 19 years that this award has been given out, it's been given to only 3 chiefs that are outside of the metro. And of all of these chiefs, they're all full-time chiefs. So Quentin does a very good job of doing the job that he is hired to do. And whether he's full-time or part-time, he's right up there with all the rest of them out there. So the couple of things that we had in our nomination for the award itself were just some of the big things that Quentin has brought forward to the fire department since he's been fire chief, including tactics and way we train from fires that we've had over the years that he has been fire chief, that we see that there's room for improvement, and we made those improvements. Obviously the CAT team, and then the newly formed rope rescue team, which if you ever have a chance to come and watch them train, they're truly an amazing group of guys that really know their ropes. So going through a bunch of, he's taken some leadership classes through the MBFTE. I always get that mixed up, but Steve Flaherty puts on a 4-section class, and there's been some gentlemen in our fire department that have taken them. Very helpful for leadership within the city and within the fire departments. And then also he spent a whole week up in Camp Ripley going through fire code stuff, which is really exciting, I know, because I went to the same classes a little bit later. So enough about from talking from me. I just want to congratulate him again, and speaking on behalf of the guys that are standing in the back of the room and the 2 chiefs that are here too, again, congratulations, Fire Chief.
Yeah, congratulations.
Well, thank you. It's a big honor. I talked to the mayor this morning. He asked me to only put like a 25 or 30-minute speech together for today. So I hope we're all ready for this. But I want to thank all of my colleagues and teammates here from the fire department that came to support this recognition. And then also, as you stated, Mayor, to the 2 former fire chiefs of our city, Mark Claith and Ed Shealy. Thank you guys for also being here, but very humbling honor to be awarded this this award. I appreciate the nomination from Chief Olson as well. You never feel like you're part of that kind of caliber of people, and my goal is to make sure that the city of Marshall is proud of their department, their fire department, and that's why we're here. We're not here for the pay. We're not here for the recognition. We're here to make sure we serve all of you and all of them. And we talk about that a lot. We talk about that at the fire station, about how we're here to serve everybody here and how can we do that. And I think we're proving that with just in how we operate. So thank you for the recognition. I'll yield back the rest of my time, Mayor. But I appreciate the recognition. Thank you.
Well, Quentin, congratulations. And, not only are we proud of our fire department and grateful for the service that the department, but we're also thankful and grateful and proud of the leadership that you provide for the city of Marshall.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I also want to, I should have stated this as well. Really just the leeway and the support that we get from the city council and Sharon, as well as you, Bob. And then from my boss would be Jim Marshall. So thank you guys for letting us do what we do and trusting us with how we operate. I know we've been down a few roads that were a little bit bumpy, maybe, with taking things on like the hazardous materials response team and these types of things, but you trusted the process that we were going to put in place. So far, it's been working very good. So thank you once again.
I'll open up if there's any other comments any council member wants to make.
Well, I'm not going to miss an opportunity. Quentin, thank you. Thank you, the entire fire department, the CAT team. I have an idea how much training it takes, and I see the time that you guys spend, and on behalf of the council and the city, thank you very, very much for your dedication. It's amazing, and we're blessed to have you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Quentin, and congratulations. Let's give him one more round of applause.
Thank you.
You guys are all welcome to stay, but I think you also have a training to go to.
This could take more than 20 minutes that Quentin yielded back.
Right. So we'll move on with the agenda. Our next item would be consider the approval of the minutes of the meeting that was held on October 14th. The council does have the minutes of that meeting. Are there any corrections to note at this time?
Move approval of the meeting.
Let me also back up just a second. Stephen, we have C. Mualeski is participating virtually. So for that reason, we will have all of our votes by voice vote, by roll call vote this evening. So, Craig, I interrupted you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move the approval of the minutes from the meeting held October 14th.
Motion by Craig. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Jim. Discussion? If not, Stephen, would you call the roll?
Alcorn,
Yes.
Lazinski,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Woleski,
Yes.
Schroeder,
I'll abstain. I was not here.
Schwartz,
Yes.
and Mayor Burns.
And I will also abstain. And so the motion does pass. We'll move then to our agenda item number 3. This is a public hearing. This is a public hearing on a vacation of a right-of-way at 500 Pleasant Street, the portion of Northwest right-of-way, Lot 6, Block 2 of Eastman's Edition. So we'll have the public hearing on the resolution that would grant the petition to vacate. Following the public hearing, then we'll consider the resolution that would grant the petition to vacate. So I'll call on Jason Anderson, our Director of Public Works, City Engineer, to open and conduct this public hearing. Jason?
Thank you, Mayor. We received a petition from the adjacent property owner at 500 Pleasant Street requesting the vacation that you've got in front of you today. Included in the packet, there should be an exhibit that Stephen will pull up. There we go. That shows the land outlined in bold along that gravel drive that's being requested for vacation. It's a right-of-way, a platted right-of-way for North Fifth Street that the only purpose for it today is sidewalk going to the pedestrian bridge over the Redwood River at Fifth and Pleasant. The purpose for the request is the property owner's driveway is not actually on their property, so they'd like to make that be so. So city staff reviewed it. We see no reason why we can't proceed with this. The property owner's been good to work with through the process and has been working with a licensed land surveyor to help put this together. So we appreciate that coordination. We did notice the DNR, seeing how this abuts a public water, and they have no negative comment to this as well. So staff would recommend that we move forward with the vacation, and we can answer any questions if there are any. And I know the property owner is in attendance as well.
Good. Okay, as part of the public hearing, is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak? Is there any input as part of the public hearing from the council?
The only question I have is this won't interfere with future use of that walkway.
No, the city is retaining the property where the walkway resides.
Any other input as part of the public hearing? If not, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So move.
Second.
Motion by Craig, seconded by John. Discussion? If not, we'll move to a vote. Stephen, would you call the roll?
Schwartz,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Mayor Burns,
Yes.
Mulesky,
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
And the motion does pass.
I didn't.
So the, did you vote?
That's fine. Yes.
So we'll now consider the resolution that would grant the petition to vacate the right-of-way. Are there any questions about the resolution? If
Move
not,
the resolution.
I'll second.
motion by Craig, seconded by Amanda. Discussion? If not, we'll move to a vote. Stephen, would you call the roll?
Alcorn,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Mulesky,
Yes.
and Mayor Burns.
Yes, and the motion does pass. We'll move then to the next item, which is the items on the consent agenda. We'll bring the items on the consent agenda up on the screen. And they include the snow removal services at Tallgrass Liquor and Merit Center for the 2025-2026 season and 2026 to 2027 winter season. Consider the award of the proposal. The request for partial closure of North 3rd Street for a Veterans Day workout event fundraiser. That will be Tuesday, November 11, 2025. Consider the approval to allow alcoholic beverages at the Red Baron Arena for the Fairbanks Ice Dogs event, December 5th and 6th. Consider the approval of a raffle permit for the United Way. Consider the approval of raffle permit for the Holy Redeemer Church. Consider approval of the memorandum of agreement for each union contract related to the Minnesota Paid Leave Program. Consider the authorization to apply for the polling place accessibility grant. Consider the authorization to declare vehicles as surplus property for the Marshall Police Department. Call for a public hearing on the amendment to the spending plan for the transfer tax increments. And finally, consider the approval of the bills and the project payments. Is there any item on the consent agenda any member wants removed for separate discussion? If not, is there a motion to approve all of the items on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Amanda, seconded by John. Discussion? If not, we'll move to a vote. Stephen, would you call the roll?
Lizinski,
Yes.
Mulesky,
Yes.
Alcorn,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Mayor Burns.
Yes, the motion does pass. We'll move then to agenda item number 14. Agenda item number 14 is the City of Marshall and Marshall Municipal Utilities 2026 partnership agreement. So earlier this year, several weeks ago, the partnership committee, which is the liaison from our council to MMU, which is Councilmember Lizinski, myself, City Administrator Sharon Hansen, EJ Moberg, and I met with the committee of MMU to really go through in detail our annual partnership agreement. And there's many parts to this partnership agreement, many of which have not changed other than the dates. But Pete Weifels, our general manager of Marshall Municipal Utilities, is here to go through the items, probably emphasizing what is changing. And specifically, that would be the payment in lieu of taxes. And then also, P would be open to kind of going into more detail if there's questions from any council member on any other of the other chapters in the partnership agreement. So with that, Pete, I'll turn it to you.
Thank you, Mayor Bob, Mayor Burns, and council members. Thank you for your time. I'm here to present the partnership agreement that has been put together through the committee between the City of Marshall and Marshall Municipal Utilities. That partnership agreement has a series of 11 agreements put together to help the city and MMU share services and save the city and MMU money by utilizing shared services. This agreement that has been in place for almost 20 years, I think is pretty close to that, has been a great document and it's helped with consistency and clarity. The partnership agreement is reviewed yearly and modified accordingly by the city and MMU. On August 25th, like you said, the committee made up between the City of Marshall and MMU staff and commission met and reviewed the individual agreements and attachments. Following the discussion and review, the committee recommended to reaffirm these agreements. So the first one, like you said, that I want to talk about is the payment in lieu of taxes. And the cover letter there you go. And I just kind of went through because there's quite a few of them to go through, and I want to save your time. So there isn't a lot of changes to any of the other ones, but I want to make sure that we just talk about the stuff that was changed. So on the payment in lieu of taxes, we helped to help create more consistency. The 10-year rolling average was changed to a 5-year rolling average. So we've taken out the 10-year and went down to a 5-year. The minimum rolling average will be 500 million kilowatt hours. This is to create a base that will not, so it will not go below that. I think the sales have been kind of decreasing, and so to create that consistency and give it a baseline or a bottom line, we put that capped at 500 million kilowatt hours. There was an increase to the formula to help raise the pilot payment up to about $85,000 from last year. And then the pilot will be reviewed at a minimum of every 3 years prior to MMUA completing the cost of service study to keep consistency. I think it'd been a little while since that had been reviewed, so. I'll stop right there, and that's kind of all the changes that are in the pilot. Is there any questions?
Maybe I would just add that there was after last year's, there was discussion at last year's partnership agreement at the council level of reviewing the formula. And so E.J. Moberg from the city, the finance person from MMU, as well as Dave Parsons, our assessor, kind of did a deep dive into that formula, compared it to other communities that have municipal utilities, compared it to what the assessed valuation of the utility properties are in the city, and if it was a privately owned utility, what would they be paying in property taxes, did all that comparison, and then use that as a basis for the update of this formula.
Correct.
Anything you want to add?
Okay. I'll just roll through the rest of them.
Yep.
There isn't a lot of changes to them. So the street lighting services, the agreement stayed the same. There was a slight increase in the cost of service, which we'll be splitting that. That's a formula that is split up where we do 50-50 cost share on that. The fire protection services, that agreement stays the same. That's been consistent for many years. That cost will not increase. It'll stay the same. Wastewater and surface management, billing and collections agreement. I'm not going too fast, am I? Okay. There's no agreement stays the same, and there will be no cost increases to that also. The professional engineering services, that base fee was increased by $10,000 to help offset some increased costs. Otherwise, there's no changes to that agreement. The joint industrial and land development agreement, there was no changes to that. Marshall Municipal capital funding, no changes to that agreement, and there was no bonding issues in 2026 also. Fiber optic utilization, there's no changes to that agreement. GIS coordination agreement, there's no changes to the agreement. The annual estimated cost did increase by $7,800. That's due to one of our employees, Ryan Wendt, who actually is working for PSE, so we're consulting some of those outside services. Radio frequency coordination agreement, there's no changes to that agreement. And the water main development agreement, no changes.
Very good.
So with that, I yield back my time.
Okay. So, council have any questions about the total partnership agreement? I think maybe the one comment I would make is, I think with cities, we're fairly unique in having this relationship that looks at many, many aspects of how can the customers be treated fairly, how can taxpayers really be provided the most services that would be available through the cooperative ventures between the city and ultimately save dollars from both the city and MMU. So it is a good agreement. So
Very good. Yep. Thank you.
with that, I would, if there's no questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve the 2026 partnership agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve the partnership agreement.
Motion by Jim. Seconded by John. Discussion? If not, we'll move to a vote. Would you call the roll, Stephen?
Mulesky,
Yes.
Alcorn,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Lazinski,
Yes.
Mayor Burns,
Yes,
Schwartz,
Yes.
Schaefer.
Yes.
and the motion does pass. Thank you, Pete.
Thank you.
We'll move then to the next agenda item, which would be agenda item number 15, consideration of the 2026 medical, dental, and life insurance renewals. I'll call first on Sheila Dubbs, Human Resources Director for City of Marshall.
There we go. Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Staff have been working with our benefits consultants for the past several months on our renewals, and earlier this evening, the staff presented in a work session to the council on the benefit renewals. So this will be a summary. I'd like to welcome Aaron Casper. He is our employee benefits consultant with National Insurance Services. He's going to review a summary of the medical and dental renewal information and their recommendations for the 2026 renewal year.
Thank you, Sheila, and welcome, Aaron.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mayor Burns, and members of the council and Administrator Hanson. So I know that we were together earlier this evening at the board work session. So I just wanted to kind of summarize on a high level perspective. We did receive an initial response from Blue Cross Blue Shield on our medical insurance at that 19% range. We did go out for a request for proposal. So we tested the market. We received approximately 6 responses, of which 4 carriers provided proposals, as well as our incumbent carrier, Blue Cross Blue Shield. We had 2 declines. It's our recommendation to the council that you would approve an 11% increase under the Blue Cross Blue Shield plan. No changes to our existing plan that we're offering to our employees and our members. And that is our component on the medical side. Then we also went out to bid on the dental. We had initially received a approximately 44% increase on our dental insurance through Beam Dental. We did go out to bid for them as well. For that coverage, we received 7 responses and 6 proposals. We are recommending that we have a carrier change to MetLife to actually provide some synergies for our paid leave coming down the pipe for 1/1/26. To get some interactions there, as well as move to a 19.1% increase on the dental. So a far cry from the initial 44%. And that is our recommendation in working with the city administration. And that's before you tonight.
Okay, thank you, Aaron, and we'll turn it back to Sheila. You'll talk about life.
So for your consideration this evening, we have proposals on medical, dental, and life insurance. Staff recommend the council approve the lowest cost proposal, which was submitted by Blue Cross and Blue Shield, 11% increase, as Aaron said, with a modified cost share structure from last year, increasing the employee's share of the premium to 15% for single coverage and 18% for family coverage. For dental insurance, staff are recommending approval again of the lowest cost proposal that received by MetLife, which had a premium increase of 19.1, and again with a modified cost share structure, increasing the employee share of the premium by 5% for both single and family coverages. The MetLife proposal also includes a rate cap for years 2 and 3 at 7% each. For the life insurance, staff are recommending approval of a carrier change to Lincoln Financial with increases in the basic life coverage to $50,000 for the employee, $10,000 for the spouse, and $5,000 for children. This proposal also includes a 2-year rate guarantee and enhancements to the voluntary or employee-paid policies as well. I will stop there and happy to answer any questions that you may
Okay.
have.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Sheila. We'll open up for questions. If not, I would entertain a motion for the staff recommendation for the health, dental, and life with the modified cost share as recommended by staff.
I move approval as recommended.
Motion by Craig.
Is that a motion for all three?
Yes.
Can we do them separately?
We can do them separately if that is your motion.
Sure, that's fine.
What is your motion?
My motion is to approve the medical first.
I'll second.
Motion by Craig, seconded by Amanda. Discussion. If there's no discussion, we'll move to a vote. Stephen?
Schroeder,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Mulesky,
Yes.
Alcorn,
Yes.
and Mayor Burns.
Yes, and that motion does pass. We'll move then to the dental, and again, the recommendation from staff is for the, well, you have the recommendation from staff.
I move approval of the staff recommendation for dental insurance.
I'll second.
Motion by Craig, seconded by Amanda. Discussion. If not, we'll move to a vote. Stephen?
Alcorn,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Mulesky,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Mayor Burns,
Yes.
Lizinski.
Yes.
And the motion does pass. And then finally, the recommendation for the employee life insurance.
I move approval of the recommendation for life insurance renewals for the city employees.
I'll second.
Motion by Craig, seconded by Amanda. Discussion. If there's no discussion, Stephen?
Schaefer,
Yes.
Mayor Burns,
Yes.
Alcorn,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Lizinski,
No.
and Mulesky.
Yes.
And the motion does pass. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Sheila. We'll move then to the next agenda item, which is agenda item number 16, the Aquatic Center Project Amendment for a land-based playground structure. I'll call on Preston Stensrud to present this item, or?
Correct, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
Preston can present, and I can help answer questions along with other staff if there's additional questions.
Okay. Welcome, Preston.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Tonight, we have an opportunity to enhance the or I won't call it existing, the new under construction aquatic center facility. We have utilized a very similar program in the past, but it's probably been 5 or 6 years ago. But there's a very small window of opportunity from game time to purchase playgrounds at a high discount. It's what they call a 50% match, or a 50% discount, or 100% match. This kind of came about kind of last minute, so they were willing to extend their deadline. It was actually last Friday. So our rep has been very good to work with on holding this for us. I did also just get these new renderings today to change the colors to go with the site. The original in the packet kind of had some greens and that kind of thing. But we wanted to bring this to you guys because it wasn't originally included in the construction of the site. We do have space available, and we do have a single source anonymous donation to cover the costs of this playground. Once here, we would have to do some sidewalk work. That's not included in the price. Our staff would do the installation and then put in the safety surfacing like we've done on our other playgrounds. We do have to make payments as soon as possible, and we'd get delivery in the first quarter of 2026, which is fine as we're going into winter. And then we would work to get it installed. Might not even be before the pool opens, but maybe next fall, just depending on what goes on with just trying to get the pool up and functioning. Yeah, just wanted to bring it to you guys' kind of attention and get some feedback on it, as it's an opportunity to enhance the site. Ample funds are available, and just makes it better for the community and region, while taking advantage of a good deal too. So.
And the physical location of this would be kind of in the area that would be near the splash pad, so it would be open without a admission fee.
Correct. Yep, it would be outside of the fenced area, which would allow people to use in the seasons when the pool isn't open, but also during our designated break times, or if people are there, daycares or whatnot, utilizing the splash pad. Maybe kids are looking for a break from the water activities. There'll be a playground available close by. But yes, also year-round, other than winter, of course. But.
Right. Sharon, do you have anything that you would add?
Just that staff have discussed this particular project, and most of the council is aware that we have close to $800,000 in pledge donations. We also have a construction contingency. We consider this playground addition to be part of the project, not separate from the project. We, however, are not getting charged a percentage fee from Stockwell or from Contegrity, because the city has sought out this quote and likely will be also handling the installation and oversight of that installation.
Okay, thank you. Open up for questions.
Not necessarily a question, but comment. So we did run this back, just kind of an email back and forth through the Aquatic Center Committee. And I think understanding that, first of all, there would be room in the contingency. So I think we were in favor of moving forward with this, even looking at the contingency, because we're far enough into the construction, and the contingency was mostly anticipated for soil issues and some other things as we were early into the site. So we feel pretty comfortable with not too many potentials for contingency load coming in. And then with the agreement by the anonymous donor to put back the funds that had been offered before for enhancements to the splash pad, and then obviously we weren't going to do those, that they're willing to let this go forward for this. I think this is a very good opportunity to enhance that site for year-round use. And I think that's a very positive when you look at that area and the availability of other park activities in that area. I think this is a good enhancement for that entire neighborhood, even when the aquatic center is not operating. So I think it's a big positive. And I also like the idea of making sure that we continue it with the aquatic center, because again, if this was even an opportunity at a 50-50 cost share, or a reduction from the supplier, it would still be a general fund levy load coming out of the Park and Rec fund. So I think this is a big positive because of the fact that even if we're using contingency, that's still part of the sales tax, which means that a lot of the revenue return isn't on the general levy. It's more of a regional piece. So I think it's a good positive for this to move forward in this setting.
Okay. Thank you, Craig. Any other input or questions?
So with this basically,
Go ahead, see.
I want to say this is basically a donation, though, so it has really no financial impact to the pool fund at all, with it being a donation from donor B per se. Right. So it's just a kind gesture from a concerned citizen, more or less.
Right. And even before that, Jim, though, when the Aquatic Center Committee looked at this originally, that promise from the anonymous donor hadn't been made. We still thought this was equitable, even if we used it out of the contingency. That's how strongly we felt about it.
And I'm glad to hear it. I just always look at it as John Q. Public comes, we can say, no, this is a donation. This is not an add-on to the
Right.
pool. This is a generous citizen who's making our community better, that this is, that makes it a very easy decision of somebody making our community better.
And we should note, there's been some $800,000
Yep.
of contributions to this project from donors, so.
To make it a better project.
Exactly. C. Moileski, you had a comment?
I just had two questions for Preston. So Preston, you had said that the surface is going to be that rubber. Is that included in the playground cost? And then the second question was, are there any wheelchair accessible parts to the playground at all?
Yep, so the safety surfacing would likely be like our engineered wood fiber. This picture shows like a rubber, but the cost of poured in place rubber is very, very expensive. It'd probably be more than this playground equipment. And then it's hard to repair if there's any damages. So it'd be, the engineered wood fiber, and it is fully ADA compliant, the engineered wood fiber is, so.
Okay, anything else, C?
Is there any, like the playground, actual playground part, are there any wheelchair accessible ones?
Some of the parts on the lower and like where you see this, can you go back to that previous picture, Stephen? There you go. Like at the end of the step where you see that initial low platform, they call that a transfer station. So they are meant to be for disabled people or children. But then there's also components at lower levels, like you can see that panel. There's some pieces attached to the poles at lower levels as well. So, yep.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
And Sharon?
Yeah, I just want to add that we have the bond sale funds and we have donations. And both of those, the bond sale along with the statute says we are to put this towards the aquatic center, but those donations are to go to the aquatic center. And some of the donors specified certain areas. Some did not. Some just wanted to put it towards the aquatic center. For some of the particular pieces of the aquatic center, if we want to consider additional enhancements, we could go back to the donors and have their support. But at the same time, their donation was for the project. I mean, one thing that we did talk about a little bit that was part of the original bidding, that wasn't a part of the second bidding to stay within budget, was the demolition of the old pool. And that is part of the aquatic center project. And if there are available funds, I think that it would be smart and wise for the city to really consider that. So those are some things. I don't think that this will be the last maybe enhancement. We really want to make sure that we do this right the first time we get, and we always kind of said this, we kind of got one shot. I'll also add, we have a change order policy that means it's different than Red Baron. You're not going to see every little change order come through. This really fits under the change order policy, but it was substantial enough in terms of, it wasn't on the conceptual design. It really is quite different. We decided to bring it forward. But there have been some reductions in some of the areas of the pool, and there's been some other changes that you wouldn't see. But this gets back to, some of those changes are $300. And under the old policy, it would be coming back to council. Right. And we kept harping on staying on schedule, right? We're really proud and happy we're on schedule considering the weather and some of the other challenges we had. We wouldn't be if we got bogged down in each little particular aspect. This is a substantial change. There's no doubt about it, and we feel good about coming to council. I think there's going to be more because we want to be smart and wise about these funds, and the intent is for the aquatic center. So I just want to add that.
Very good. Any other questions?
The only other question I have is, and just me doing my math, if it's 172,000 and we take 85,000 off, why is it 103,000 to purchase the equipment?
Because they have a material tariff surcharge on there, and then freight is not included in their sale price.
Okay, I was just doing math in my head. And
Yep.
I wasn't very good at math, but I just knew that to add
Yeah,
up.
nope, that's all. Yeah, they got I don't know what the percentage is, but there's a percentage of fee from the tariffs and then a freight, which depending on how big of a playground, that's a moving number. So, and they have to pay it's a designated semi when they ship these, that's under lock and key.
Yep.
And we have to sign saying that we accept it or whatever. So it's not, like it packages with another shipment of something, so.
Awesome. Thank you.
Craig?
Yeah, just going back on what Administrator Hanson said, that, I think that I've said this at previous meetings and I just want to hit it again. I think that we are fortunate in having the second successful package bid that we had for this project and the number of trades that are working on this and the number of trades that are local and how well they're working together has really helped to enhance the project. I think we've saved money. I know we're getting a pretty good construction time benefit on the fact that the different trades are cooperating. And every time when we meet for our Aquatic Center progress meetings, that's pretty evident. And they talk a lot about that. And I just want to hit that again and let the public know that I know we had to wait a little longer. This is taking longer than we had originally hoped, but the finished product, I think, is going to be well worth the wait. So I just want to put that out again, and I appreciate staff's time, the people, Preston and our engineering, everybody that's been working on this, EJ and Sharon for the way they've watched the budget, and then again for my fellow council members that are on the aquatic committee. I think that we're getting a good product, and it's been a really good project to work on. So I really appreciate that too.
And I think, Craig, the term you used at the last meeting was substantially ahead of schedule.
Substantially on schedule. And that was for you, Mr. Mayor, because I know that that's something that's a benchmark for you. And I want to make sure that we ask that question every time so that I can tell you with confidence that we're doing well.
Any other questions? If not, you have the recommendation. I would entertain a motion.
Approval.
Motion by Craig, seconded by John. Discussion? If not, Stephen, would you call the roll?
Mayor Burns.
Yes.
Alcorn.
Yes.
Lazinski.
Yes.
Mulesky.
Yes.
Schaefer.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
And Schwartz.
Yes.
And the motion does pass. Thank you,
guys.
Preston.
Thanks, Preston.
We'll move then to agenda item number 17, the sanitary sewer rehabilitation project. Consider the authorization to execute the engineering and construction administrative services agreement with Bolton and Mink. I'll call once again on Jason Anderson.
Thank you, Mayor. You've got the proposal from Bolton and Mink included in the packet. We solicited this proposal because we've been working as a staff, engineering and wastewater department, and reviewing a few different pipe segments that are really good candidates for this method of improvement, this cured in place pipelining improvement. That's a trenchless method. We don't have to dig up the road to make the improvement, and it'll allow us to address some deficient sewers in areas that we're not likely to reconstruct in the next 10 to 15 years. This all started with a couple sewer segments in particular that we identified through our televising reports that were in need of some repair, and we decided we better get moving on it. So if you're going to take the time to mobilize or take the effort to mobilize one of these specialized contractors in, we wanted to make sure we had a contract that's large enough to drive down the per foot cost and make it advantageous to the city. So that's why it's in the capital budget as a pretty large project. It's actually at 1.76 million in our capital budget. I think I had 1.6 million in the memo, but it's a little more than that. This proposal from Bolton and Mink is a just under $130,000 proposal. It's a not to exceed style contract. Through this contract, they would help us review televising reports of our systems, make some on-site inspections, help us put together plans and specifications, and then provide support through construction. So it's a pretty comprehensive package. We think it's important. We've never done one of these types of projects in Marshall before that I'm aware of. So we're looking forward to trying it out, and we've got some candidate locations identified on the map and also in the memo and the listed in behind the map here too. So if there's any questions, I can try to answer them. And we did present this to PIT, I should mention, on October 2nd, and they did recommend to bring it forward. Scott Trudson from our wastewater department is here as well if there's additional questions.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Any comments from the Public Improvement and Transportation Committee?
No, it's just, we did have a unanimous support for moving forward. We did discuss in pretty good detail what the condition of the lines are and also the technology and the reliability of the technology for the remedy. So I think there's good support for this. I think it's a good project.
Are there any questions for either Jason or Scott? If not, is there a motion to approve the recommendation?
I'll make that motion.
Second it.
Motion by Jim, seconded by Craig. Discussion? If not, we'll move to a vote. Stephen?
Schwartz,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Mulaleski,
Yes.
Lozinski,
Yes.
Alcorn,
Yes.
and Mayor Burns.
Yes, the motion does pass. We'll move then to agenda item number 18, the introduction of the amendments to Chapter 7, Article 2, the lodging tax. Again, the action item here would be the introduction. Sharon, do you want to start with this?
Well, I can. I know that our city attorney brought forth some information she had on lodging tax collection. She did discover this in other communities, and it had to do with more of a short-term rental collection. We have ourselves been collecting the lodging tax, and consideration of having the state of Minnesota collect the lodging tax in order to make it more in compliance. I know Stephen Anderson has been researching this, and as well as our city attorney giving recommendations. So I'll turn it over to either one of those to present.
Pam, do you want to add anything at this point? City Attorney Whitmore?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. I agree with Sharon in that the state has more ability and better enforcement mechanisms for collecting on the short-term rental, and then along with the other lodging taxes and passing that on to the city.
And Stephen, anything you want to add?
I do just want everyone to know that there are 15 short-term rentals when just a couple years ago there was maybe 1 or 2. So it is increasing as this continues. So hopefully transferring this to the state will show some better transparency on our end and also for the short-term rentals.
The other thing you might want to comment on is, currently Stephen's office is really the one is doing the paperwork, the collection, and the lodging establishment actually has to go through, some paperwork to submit the amount, and that doesn't always happen consistently every month. So as we look at the lodging tax receipts, you see this up and down, which really isn't reflective of what the income source is. Really reflective more of what their submittal schedule would be. So this would provide that additional consistency, correct? Okay.
If I'm correct, if we go this route, Stephen or Pam, you can answer. This will actually be collected by the Airbnb or VRBO, correct? Then they mail it to the state, who mails it to us.
Yes. So Airbnb, VRBO, they would collect it directly on their websites and they would remit that to the state of Minnesota, and then the state of Minnesota quarterly, along with the sales and use tax that was previously collected from them, would be sent in one big lump sum.
So it'd probably ease your job up a little bit or free up time for you, actually,
I hope.
to do other things too. Perfect.
So is there a motion to introduce this amendment?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Jim,
I'll second.
seconded by Amanda. Discussion? If not, we'll move to a vote. Stephen?
Mulaleski,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Lozinski,
Yes.
Alcorn,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
and Mayor Burns.
Yes, and the motion does pass. We'll move then to Commission Board Liaison Reports. Craig?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So as we discussed earlier, a couple of the items, PI&T met, I believe on the 7th, and we discussed a number of items. It was a pretty busy agenda. And some of the things that we discussed, one that I want to touch on is that I know there's been a lot of concern late summer about mosquitoes. And so there is a discussion going on about what would be the proper approach? Would the city do something with that, and what are our options? So I know it doesn't do anything for the bites we got this year, but understand that we are aware of it and are going to be looking into what that response would be if there's activity by the city. But at some point in time, I think there's going to be at least some partial work anyway, depending on what's available and what the pros and cons are of it. But that's one of the items to just kind of keep an eye on. Everything else that we do at PINT, obviously at a point in time, comes before council, but we just wanted to kind of touch on that one for sure. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
And Amanda,
Mine did not meet.
Amanda.
We had at EDA, Economic Development, we had a presentation from Southwest Minnesota Housing Partnership on a potential housing project. There's still more discussion to be had, but it's kind of exciting.
Good. From my point, the Fire Relief Association Board of Trustees had their quarterly meeting this morning. The rate of return on the fund is just over 9% for this calendar year, January to today. So the return on the fund is good. They're anticipating receiving their state aid check fairly soon. This is a 2% surcharge on automobile insurance premiums that is distributed to fire relief associations in the state. They are anticipating that there'll be 2 retirement payouts that will happen this calendar year. One a current member, one a member that has previously left the department but is now eligible to draw the retirement. So even with that, they'll be able to do that without impacting the entire fund. So, which shows that the fund is healthy. So Southwest Regional Development Commission had their monthly meeting about 2 weeks ago. It was a routine meeting. However, the revolving loan fund, which is a component of the Southwest Regional Development Commission, I chair that committee, and we met once and approved 3 different loans at that time. And then the Southwest Regional Development Commission, I'm their representative on the MnDOT Area Transportation Partnership. I actually chair that group, and we met in early October for the really the kickoff of the 10-year plan to identify priorities for the investment of the federal and state funds. So pretty active Southwest Regional Development Commission activity later. John?
Public housing met yesterday, really nothing to report from that.
And Jim?
MMU had their meeting last week. Besides the normal discussions every month, they did an electric rate study and a water rate study. And I'm bringing that up because they are going to be a rate increase for the first time in, they said, 3 years. But with that rate increase, there's a public hearing for them to explain to the public. That's all of you out there that love to know why it is. It is November 19th at 4:30. And I said, I'm going to get the word out there because I will not be able to attend that because I'll be out of town. But if the public would like to have input on why the rates are increasing or what you think about the rate increase, again, November 19th at 4:30 at the MMU building is the public hearing. They have these little books. I think if you ask Pete Weifels, he can email you the rate study, what it is. It gives you your chance to understand why the rates are going up, or if you feel the rates should go up. It's your time to give a chat about the your input at the public hearing. My other ones did not meet.
Okay. And C?
Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Commission met, and Jason Walker, the Community Development Director for Southwest Regional Development Commission, came and conducted a Marshall Master Park Plan focus group with the commission. So we pretty much spent majority of that talking, but we did get a little chance to talk about purchasing St. Croix ADA tables for our parks, as currently right now we don't have anything. So these tables, these picnic tables, are a little longer at the end so that if somebody's in a wheelchair, they can scoot up and sit right at the chair there. So we will continue those conversations.
Okay, thank you, C. We'll move then to council member individual items. Craig?
I have nothing, thank you.
Amanda?
I have nothing.
Amanda?
I don't have anything.
Jim?
I'm going to go on my spiel about people walking. It's because Friday night's Halloween. And as you know, there'll be a lot of young people out there. Please follow the blinking lights, look for little people. If the lights are blinking, let our trick-or-treaters cross the road before you go through the blinking lights. I see Officer Marshall's here. I know his officers will be out making sure our little ones are safe trick-or-treating. But as Craig brought up last week, the last council meeting, I'll bring up again, and those lights are flashing. Let the folks cross the streets. And remember, on Friday night with the trick-or-treaters, let the kids have fun and let them cross the streets. We off my soapbox of crosswalks.
See?
Yeah, just to add on top of that about Halloween, I hope that everybody will consider be allowing teenagers to come and trick or treat at your house because you know they're still kids. It's a harmless tradition, so I hope you won't shame any teenage kids that come and trick or treat at your house. That's all I have.
And John?
Nothing.
The only thing I have is to publicly thank President Pro Tem Craig Schaefer for conducting the last meeting. I was unavailable, so thank you, Craig.
And as promised, I didn't blow the city up, so thank you.
Good. We'll move then to staff reports. Sharon?
I just want to add one brief thing that Councilmember Muleski did invite me in on behalf of the mayor who was not available on October 18th. He was out of the country, but for the Hmong New Year that was celebrated at Red Baron, it was a really great event, lots of people, really good venue and very well planned out. We started off the festivities with a toast at 9 a.m. or so in the morning, and it was pretty good stuff that they made, actually. And cut the ribbon, and then there was vendors, food trucks, and presentations, as well as speeches on behalf of the Hmong community in Southwest Minnesota. So I was happy to be there and thank Councilmember Muleski for the invite.
Thank you for attending, Sharon.
Yeah.
Jason?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be brief. Quick construction update. College Drive, I know it feels like it's done, but it's not quite. We're just 2 to 3 weeks away, probably. Hopefully by mid-November, that can be opened up. Minor work items remain. And the C Street Southview Trail, some concrete got placed last week, and if the weather allows, they'll continue to place more, but we're unsure if they'll finish that segment that's gravelled right now out to the school property. We'll see how it goes. But that's got a deadline into next year, so they've got plenty of time to finish that project. And then just a comment on the partnership agreement, just really appreciate the cooperation with MMU on our end. We meet with them very regularly and enjoy the partnership, and it's a very, very good thing for the city. And I'll echo what I think Mayor Burns said. It is pretty uncommon across the state of Minnesota to have such a close relationship with a utility like that, and we benefit greatly from it.
Thank you. Any questions for Jason? If not, City Attorney Pam Whitmore.
No, nothing for me this evening.
With that, we have the remaining items on the agenda, and they include our listing of building permits and our listing of upcoming meetings. Are there any other items to come forward at this meeting this evening? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion.
Second.
Amanda, seconded by Jim. Discussion? If not, Stephen, would you call the roll and we'll take the vote?
Alcorn.
Yes.
Lazinski.
Absolutely.
Muleski.
Yes.
Schaefer. Schroeder.
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
And Mayor Burns.
Yes, the motion does pass. We are adjourned.